2 nights ago?
Well, how they handled it, I thought they handled it very professional, business-like. Yeah, that was a very hostile, loud environment. Just give Illinois credit, they played very well at home. Unfortunately for us, there were some possessions where shots did not fall, or there was some breakdown defensively. But I love the fact that how our guys are always locked in and attention to detail.
Chris?
You kind of lamented the points in the paint down there. What were some of the teaching moments that you talked about with those guys after that game?
Well, we talked about how we cannot allow that many points in the paint. Defensively, what we have to do better to prevent something like that from happening. Unfortunately for us, when we give up that amount of points in the paint, as well as 15 offensive rebounds, then it's going to be challenging for us to win a ball game like that.
How much of that is toughness and how much of that is technique?
It's all based on the fact of we have to trust the fact that when the ball goes up, we got to locate a guy and box him out and pursue the basketball. And another thing is we just got to do a better job of keeping our guys in front of us and shrinking the floor and not allowing direct blow-bys.
All right.
It seems like there's a big shooting split in terms of when you guys are on the road versus at home and on a neutral site. What do you make of that difference?
Yeah, I looked at that too. And those numbers are staggering. We just got to stay the course and not think about as far as okay, the last 2 road games that we've had, we didn't shoot well. It can become a mental problem. We got to just stay the course and know and trust ourselves and one another. I think if we would do a better job of moving the basketball, I think a lot of those shots would have been a lot easier shots for us. At times, it was just too many one pass shot, or there was an opportunity where we just went to an isolation and there was no spacing.
And then are you guys preparing as if Intelligente is going to play tomorrow? Or
We're
are you just going
First, since
we're preparing pretty much that everyone's going to play, yes. And so that means that each and every guy on their roster, we're taking a look at and we're focusing in on, because we haven't seen Oregon much this year, and this will be our first time facing them. We do not want to have any surprises.
I'm just curious, did you prep for them at all because there's a possibility you could play them in the Bahamas?
We definitely went and watched their game, scouted their game, because they're, like you just said, there was a possibility we could have played them. And so we are familiar with Oregon.
Back to Chris.
I think Tom said they got exams today. How's the focus been in practice and the balance between that and academics?
We have high-level, high-character guys that understands, what's the priority here. Michigan students, Michigan athletes, we're next level when it comes to that. We know that our academics are a high priority. It's not just the focus on basketball. We're student athletes, and that being said, they have studies, they have exams today. Maybe 5 of our players have exams today. One of our players have 2 exams today. So it's a busy schedule, and they're trying to, of course, balance both. A big reason why we had early practice is because we can take care of the basketball part of it, and then the players that have exams this afternoon, they can go back and review their notes and take the exam. And for those who are prepping for exams from next week, they can have all day to study, and then we can be ready to go for tomorrow's game, which is a 12 o'clock tip-off.
Andrew?
Juwan, does it help that you got to see Oregon, in person? Does that help the scout at all? You already got to see
Of course it does, yes.
And then what have you seen from their point guard, Peyton Pritchard?
Oh, man. He's one of the best point guards in the country. I watched him last year when I was working for the Miami Heat, and I was impressed with his game, and I became a fan just because of his toughness. He's a tough competitor. He's a great shooter. He's a gamer. When the game is on the line, when the ball's in his hands, he's shown that he can do special things for himself as far as for the team, making great decisions with the ball to create scoring opportunities for his teammates. He's definitely the head of the snake.
We're in front with Ash.
When you talk about moving the ball in regards to maybe getting some of those shots to fall, do you think in these 2 road games that have been losses that it's been more them doing something defensively to stop you guys from doing that, or do you think it's more players just getting a little antsy when you're down and they're trying to get up a quick shot?
Well, I think give the other team credit. They do a really good job defensively. I'm not going to ignore the fact what Louisville done defensively, a very good defensive team. When you're ranked number 1 in the country, there for a reason. Illinois, they're a very well-coached team. And, you look at, not to get off track, but all the Big Ten games that have been played, every team that's played at home has won. It's been tough to win on the road in the Big Ten, and I knew that coming in. I recall that when I played here in Michigan and going on the road to play Minnesota, which I thought was one of the toughest places to play, not discrediting Illinois. So it's a very competitive conference. Now, getting back to your question, I think our guys, shot just didn't go in for them. But defensively, yeah, they played well defensively, but we also missed some open shots too.
Anybody have anything else?
Going back to how you work with your assistants this year, how did your time in Miami and working for Coach Spoelstra kind of inform how you decided to delegate responsibilities and work with your assistant coaches?
Well, that helped. It helped me as far as preparing for whenever I get a chance to become a head coach. What will be, how our responsibilities be delegated with assistant coaches. But then also being a player, having a chance to watch organizations like Houston Rockets, Portland Trailblazers, Dallas Mavericks. I've also watched the time when I was with the Wizards. All the teams that I played for, and I sit back and watch Larry Brown and how he delegated different responsibilities for his assistant coaches. I was always like a little sponge, just like, just watching, observing. And so when I got a chance to, look back this summer and see how, I wanted to give my assistants responsibilities, because I can't do it all alone by myself. And that's why I hired them. I hired them to give them the responsibility to be a head assistant coach, and for those who haven't been a head coach, my job is to help groom them to become head coaches, like Asadi Washington and Howard Isley, because I trust each and every one of them. So overall, just by giving them different responsibilities has helped me have clarity. It's also given me a life too. As far as not feeling like I got to do everything and I got to do it all alone. Now, I have seen other coaches who have done everything themselves, by themselves, and I've also seen a look on their face each and every day. It's like they look like they have bags underneath their eyes, no sleep, and they also grumpy as hell. I don't want to live like that. I'm trying to live a healthy life, but I'm also empowering my assistants too, because I trust them, and it's their job. They got to do things as well as the players can see that it's not always driven by me, that we do this as a collective unit. We all have responsibilities, and the players see that we all have a voice, and that they see I trust my assistants. I'm asking the players to trust me. I'm asking the players to trust the assistant coaches. They also have to see from me that I trust the assistant coaches. That's what leadership is all about.
James?
Juwan, you mentioned with the shooting splits, I guess not letting the tough shooting on the road become a mental thing. What can you do as a coach to, not let that?
Keep encouraging them. Shoot it, let it fly. That's simple. You have open shot, let it go. I trust that it will go in, but you have to trust it too. And when the shot doesn't fall, be patient. Take the next open shot.
And have you officially designated team captains for the season this month?
Yes, I have. When I thought about team captains, I said, allow the players to vote who they think is the best suited to become a captain, who earned it. So then one day at night, I was thinking, I'm always thinking, I said, I know who the captains are. It's plain and simple. It's staring all of us in the face. John Teskey, Xavier Simpson. Not just because they're seniors, it's just that X is the ultimate leader there is. I haven't seen a better leader than Xavier Simpson. Holds his teammates accountable. He's a guy who he doesn't just talk the talk. The cliche, you walk the walk. That's what he does. That's simple. One of the hardest working guys on the team. Smart player. I said it before. He's my Tom Brady. He makes my job a lot easier as a coach. I can lay my head down at night knowing I have a guy like X in the trenches. John Teskey's a guy who's won many games like X, proven. They both, in my opinion, will have a chance to play on the next level of the NBA if they want to. John, elite level center, smart defender, quiet assassin. I would say, leads by example, because all leaders are not vocal leaders. It doesn't mean that he's not a leader. He just leads in a different way. And it's good also to have balance. And I think with John and X, it's a great balance with the two. You may be able to get a few words out of John. But if you talk to X for a while, you get a lot of words out of him. So I told the guys, captain is chosen. I'm choosing it, John and X. That's simple. Does anyone have any input? Please feel free. Anyone against it? Like how this room is right now, it's quiet.
Do you remember when that night was? I guess when you had the revolution.
Now you got me. I forgot. Got what it was. But you can ask the guys about that. True story.
Chris?
Franz seems to be his own worst critic. Do you feel like he's pressing a little bit and a little hard on himself?
He is his worst critic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes him great.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure that he doesn't beat himself too much. Because, it's going to happen. The last game, he wasn't the only one that had a game that he felt he could have had a better game. Some shots did not fall for him. 2 threes in a row. I love those threes that he took. It's going to go down. And I trust him. Does he beat himself up? Yes, he does. But no, he's not pressing.
And then you brought it up a little bit. What do you do to stay in shape during the year?
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I think I'm fat. I gotta lose some weight because my suit's getting a little tight. No, I try to eat healthy. It's a challenge. I do work out consistently. I try to work out 4 days a week. Like last night, we had a late practice. Try to sneak in a workout when guys are going to the training table, get a little work in, and then go back to watch film. And that's how it is. That keeps me healthy, keeps my sanity.
Juwan, how often do you practice with the team, or at least with the bigs?
Like, what do you mean by practice? Please clarify.
How often do you kind of pick up a basketball or hit them with the pad, or maybe play defense on them or offense on them? I remember on media day, Colin said he's never seen someone at your age dunk as well. So is that something that was more of a preseason thing, or is that kind of going even in the day-to-day of the game?
No, I pretty much do that. Not all practices, but the vast majority of them. And get out there and play a little tougher defense. Just when I'm explaining the drill, and also to give them, like, instead of the players beating up on each other, I get a chance to just hit them with a pad, but not in a very aggressive physical way, where they can feel like a heavy body. Now, Austin Davis is one of the strongest guys I ever had to play defense on. When he hits you, you better be ready. Austin hitting me would kind of remind me of, I'll never forget Stanley Johnson. Stanley Johnson, that was drafted by the Detroit Pistons. And I was one of the assistant coaches helping with the draft workout. And Stanley Johnson, we were running a post defense, and Stanley was on defense. And I came in as an offensive player, cutting through the post, and he chucked me really hard. Boom! And this is a 17-year-old kid. And I'm like, whoa, he's strong. And I was like, you know, I need to get some shape. But these kids are strong.
With practicing with your guys, does that make it easier to kind of teach on the fly rather than kind of interrupting the drill from maybe an outsider's perspective?
Oh, it's a balance where you're able to teach on the fly, depending on the time and the amount of time that you have allotted for that particular point of practice and what you're trying to accomplish. You know, there are times when I just sit there and I teach the drill and allow, you know, the players to play token defense with one another, or they may play live defense with one another. But there are ways that, you know, you have to mix it up a little bit. But I think it's good when the players get a chance to interact with the coach and with his teaching, as well as, you know, being a defender. Now they get a chance to take a shot at me, all the stuff that I'm probably like filling them in and they're getting upset with. Now it's like, let me tattoo coach. I did it before Bob McAdoo.
Coach, I think that's gonna do it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.